Tony-winning director Sam Gold has long been a champion of diversity and inclusion. As a hard of hearing Broadway fan, I'm thrilled to announce his new Romeo and Juliet features open captioning at every performance. I'm here at the Circle in the Square Theater to find out more. What I'm doing is turning up my hearing aid.
Good.
Perfect for this conversation.
Yeah, good.
How you doing, Sam?
Great, thanks.
You're in the middle of previews of a new Broadway show.
Yeah, we're deep into it right now. So.
And this is a lucky theater for you. I mean, I saw Fun Home, you won a Tony here. Enemy of the People won a Tony. You won a Tony for Fun Home here. Is this sort of? I feel like eventually it'll be the Sam Gold Theater. Is this
hope so.
a great safe playing space for you?
I love being in the round.
Yeah.
I love the intimacy of this theater. You know, most Broadway theaters, they were built in the 19th century when theater was like, you know, Ethel Merman Stand Down Center and Declaim, and we make very different theater now, and I find that the theater that can connect to a modern audience works really well in this particular house, so I like making work here.
This is a very exciting production for me because Romeo and Juliet has open captioning for every performance, and as a hard of hearing theatergoer, I am thrilled. I'm thrilled to really be able to dig into that early modern English and really experience the play unlike any other time I've ever seen it, probably. From what I've heard, this is something you wanted to do for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really trying to promote accessibility in the theater. I feel that artists with disabilities are not represented on Broadway enough, and audiences with disabilities are not having their accessibility needs met. And I've been trying to find ways to right that wrong as much as I can. You know, going back to the thing we were saying about those old Victorian theaters, they were not built with accessibility in mind in any way. And there's a lot of hard of hearing and deaf audience members who are alienated by the experience of coming to Broadway. The little devices don't work well. It's tough. I know I just hear from deaf audience members that they sort of give up on coming, and I want that audience to love the theater, and it's not that hard. Captioning is something the opera has done forever. You go see theater in foreign countries, and you get super titles. It's an old technology. I think every Broadway theater should have, like they have at the Met, where it's just a caption on the back of the seat.
Yeah.
It's just a money thing, and it's about caring about. It's about investing in access for people with disabilities and low hearing and deaf people, and I have been working on it for a while, and it's taken certain logistics for me to sort of figure out how to get around the problems and the challenges. They're not hard. They're just, you know, we do very challenging things in the theater. That's not high on the list of challenges, but there are logistics that go into it. So we're sort of, this becomes a way to sort of teach everybody how a path to get it done. And that way, you know, you don't have to be hard of hearing or deaf to make use of the super titles. Yeah. It's, you know, it's hard language to see Shakespeare, to see the poetry, to, you know, it's great to reference the script. It's great to see the words up there. I think a lot of people at home now are using captions in everyday use. It's like it's become very normalized through Netflix and everything to have the words when you're consuming a story. So I think people will just get used to it, and it'll become the norm.
Well, it's interesting because research actually shows that younger generations are using it more and more.
Yeah.
I think because maybe it's second screen watching TV. They're used to sort of like multitasking, right?
Yeah, using their...
So people are really getting used to captions.
Yeah, so we need to catch up to that. Like, there's no reason we don't have it. If you have it at home when you're watching Netflix, you should get to have it at the theater, which is an extremely verbal medium. You know, theater is it's a word-based art form. So people need to get those words, whether you know, it's somebody who's just starting to lose their hearing, if it's somebody who just likes, like, is a visual learner and likes to see the words, whether it's a deaf audience member, everyone should get to have that.
Yeah, obviously for deaf audience members, it's incredible to have, but for hard of hearing members, and I feel like there are so many theater goers who are probably experiencing hearing issues. I always try to explain to people it's one thing to actually hear the volume of what you're watching, but then the comprehension takes extra. And then when you add something like you know, Shakespeare or accents or anything like that, it just becomes experiencing these kinds of shows with captions. I've only been able to do it a handful of times in my theater going, and they're my favorite theater going experiences because I really feel like I was there 100%.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to see it and see it with the captions. I think it only adds to the evening.
So every night at Romeo and Juliet, every performance, every matinee, there's a certain section of the circle and the square where everyone will be able to see the captions, and they're big and bold.
Yeah, it's great. And yeah, there's a big section of the audience, and you can, you know, buy your tickets to sit in the section where you get to have the captions.
Awesome. And hopefully this will keep growing, and this will be seen as a special sort of big first step.
Yeah, I'd love to see this as the norm at every Broadway show. There's no reason we shouldn't have captions.